Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we're going to do something a little different. Um, this past Saturday I was at Brash's first year anniversary party. Um, I kind of wanted to give a recap of the whole event. Um, I took a bunch of pictures of the beer that I had. I took some pictures of kind of the people around there, and I'll be showing these up here in the video, which you'll see. But anyway, so Brash had their first anniversary here in Houston, and they had online tickets that eventually sold out. It wasn't immediately, but it took a few weeks, I think. And the ones I bought, it was me and my wife went, and it was about $40 for the most expensive ticket. That got you a bottle of Hammer Smash Face, which was there. They've got a beer called Vulgar Display of Power. It's a Russian Imperial Stout, brewed with vanilla beans. I don't know if they add coffee to the original one or not. I didn't think they did before, but they aged that in Woodford Reserve double oaked whiskey barrels for, I think it's about 10 months. And on those labels it had coffee added. So I don't know if they just added the coffee afterwards, or if they actually do it in Vulgar Display as well. I didn't think they did. But anyway, so that was the main beer that they were releasing, bottles of that. And you got one with your ticket, and then you got a Tiku glass and 3 pours with that, which were these little tickets. It was a pour of Hammer Smash Face and then 2 pours of anything else that they had. So we got there, and it was pretty packed. Quite a bit of people. I mean, it did eventually sell out. I don't know how many tickets they sold, but I'm guessing maybe around the 500 mark, something like that. And we got there, I think it was almost getting to 1, somewhere around there. And it was pretty packed. But immediately we got our bottles. You could also buy extra bottles of Hammer Smash Face. It was 2 per person along with that. So I got 4 more bottles, being with 2 for me and 2 for my wife. So I got 6 total. And then we went and started getting pours of stuff. The lines were long-ish for the bottles at first, of course, because they were selling pretty pretty quickly, and they did 1,262 bottles, as it said on we had these little tickets where they held the bottles, and you just pretty much bought your tickets, and then at the end, whenever you want to leave, you just hand them into a guy they had a cooler, and they would keep them cold for you, and then you pick them up when you left, so you don't have to be walking around with them the whole time. But those sold out within like a couple hours or so. Went pretty quickly. Anyway, so we got pours. The line wasn't too bad at first, and then it kind of grew, of course, as everybody got all their bottles. Everybody was just getting pours. They had 2 separate lines for pours. They had kegs outside, and then they had some stuff inside. So I got mine outside first. I got a pour Hammer Smash Face. And it was my favorite beer of the day. Tons of vanilla. Got some coffee. The whiskey was pretty prevalent too. It was very oaky, and it had a decent amount of bitterness, but not overwhelming. Definitely balanced out the sweetness of the barrels and the vanilla, and pretty full bodied. It was really easy drinking, and that was really good. I definitely thought it and kind of met my expectations. I gave that a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I think maybe it was probably just a little under that, maybe like a 4.6 or so, 4.65. But really, it was very well balanced, and very full of flavor too. Just compare the other beers that we had today, it was definitely stood out. And then after that, my wife got a pour of the Raspberry AF, which, as and so that was St. Arnold's Blennerweiss with raspberries, and it was pretty good. I don't think it was the Brett version. It was just their base Blennerweiss with a bunch of raspberries and a lot of raspberry flavor, lightly tart. It was pretty clean and simple. I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I got a pour of Milk the Venom, which is their Imperial Stout with coconut, chipotle peppers, and cinnamon. And that was really, really good. I'd had it once before when they did the first batch. And this batch was a little bit different for me. I got a lot of cinnamon on it. Not as much coconut. And we were kind of outside and it was really hot. So tasting notes are a bit iffy. It would have been probably better to, if we were inside, air conditioner or something in my apartment, have. But tons of cinnamon and nice chipotle heat, and just nice and full. And it really reminded me of, Mexican cake or hunapu. Definitely would put it right up there with those beers, and hopefully they'll bottle that or can it. Then my wife got a pour of the double dry hop Sculpin that they had on cask. I don't know what hops they had used, but it probably, I think there was an entry for Mosaic, and I think it was Mosaic. I think they had it at the opening party last year, and it was really, really good. Super hazy, very juicy. Reminded me a lot of Yellow Rose, maybe just a little bit more of that kind of orange juice like thing going on. That was fantastic. I don't know if I actually take that one or rate it on tap, but if I did, I think I did. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think it's probably a little bit above that, actually. It was fantastic. And then I also had the Vietnamese Speedway from Alesmith. And they had that on tap as well, and it was a little disappointing, actually. I think I've had it before, and I liked it quite a bit, but on this keg there was just no coffee whatsoever. I mean, you got the dark fruit notes, typical Russian Imperial Stout, type of flavors going on, but it had really no coffee, so that was kind of disappointing. And then I had gotten a second pour of Hammer Smash Face, and we had those side by side, and it was no contest. I mean, Hammer Smash Face was so much better. Then after that, well, I mean, that was pretty much all the pours I had at Brash. And we got our bottles to go. We just kind of hung out for a bit, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty hot, and there was a lot of people there, but it was nice. Just hanging out with a bunch of people. And shout out to, pull up YouTube here real quick while I'm looking that up. Gave a shout out, kind of said hi to Vince, the head brewer, and told him how much I like the beer. And let me see here. I actually had a viewer come up to me. If I can find the video that it was on, which I don't know that I can. It's kind of taking up video space here. Where is the temptress? There we go. Probably should have pulled this up before I started the video. Anyway, yes, shout out to Rob Caros for spotting me at the event, saying hi, saying what's up. But after the event, we went to Petrol. It's a craft beer bar up in the Heights, and had a little bottle share. I was pretty good at that point, but we had packed some stuff and kind of talked about it, so I'll kind of recap those pretty quickly. Had a taste of Bosbis from Funk Factory, out of, God, I want to say it's Wisconsin. I hope it's Wisconsin. And it's their American Wild Ale with blueberries. They call it American Lambic. It's spontaneously brewed, just like a traditional Lambic would be. Of course, it can't be called that here technically because it's not brewed in a certain part of Belgium. But blueberries came out nice. It was nicely tart, bit jammy. I thought it was a pretty good beer. I gave it 4.25 out of 5 stars. I felt like it used maybe a little bit more unique kind of blueberry profile and some more funk, but it was really good. And then I had a bottle of another alliteration from Sarah, Sante de Arias. It's their it's like a dark farmhouse ale with raspberries, yeah. And that was pretty good. Nice raspberries, kind of got the dark farmhouse Trade's going on that sort of roastiness there, bit of funk. It was pretty solid. I gave that one a 4.25 out of 5 stars as well. I had it before, but it was a flat bottle. It had leaked out, so this was much better. Then I had the Rare Barrels Map of the Moon. That's their wild ale with, or it says golden sour beer aged oak barrels with apricots. It's supposed to be, I think, double the apricots of Map of the Sun, which I had never had before. So Map of the Moon was pretty good. It reminded me a lot of Aurelian Lore, Jester King's apricot wild ale. Kind of had that big dried apricot taste. Had just a hint of that kind of sulfur thing that those have. But overall, it was pretty good. Nice acidity, not really any funk. I don't really get that from Rare Barrel beers. But I give that one a 4.25 out of 5 as well. Had a bottle of Schramm's Black Agnes Batch 6. So I haven't reviewed mead here on this channel before, but I probably will at some point. I'm pretty big into mead too. That was very, very good. I'd say probably overall today might probably tied ish, or maybe just a little bit more I enjoyed as far as everything. And I gave that one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was pretty tart. The batch 4 has been my favorite, just so thick and sticky and has that nice balance of kind of sweet tartness, sweet acidity. This one was just way more acidity, which is good, but I just felt like batch 4 had that kind of magic sort of balance there. This was also fantastic though. And then had a bottle of Dancing Bee Winery out of Texas. They're a small meadery. Their bottle of raspberry portamel. It's their honey wine with raspberries and Concord grapes. They kind of that cross between Pyment and Melomel or Melomel. That was really good, really, really boozy. 17% definitely showed. I think it needs some time to kind of settle down, mellow out, but nice and full and pretty sticky. Maybe not quite, I'd say just a hair under kind of Schramm's, but very close. I think it's the closest one out of the state that I've had so far that kind of hits that mouthfeel that Schramm's has. But raspberries were pretty nice on it, very jammy. A bit of grape there too. So I've got a couple more bottles like to sit on and see what happens. And then American Solera, that's Chase from Prairie. That's his kind of solo side project going on right now. And had a bottle of their Raspberry. It's raspberry wild ale aged in oak barrels, and that was pretty good too. Nice and jammy, pretty clean, nice tartness. I give it a 4.25 out of 5 stars. I gave the mentioned the raspberry portamel a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think it may be just a hair under that for the booziness, but once that mellows out, I definitely would keep that at the 4.5, maybe if not more, depending on what happens. And then the last thing I'd had was I left. I was feeling really tired and just had way too much beer that day. Was Jackie O's Full Allotment. It's a Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with walnuts. That was pretty good, pretty solid. I can't really say I got the walnuts, but at that point, palate was kind of fatigued and I was pretty tired. But that had a nice barrel character. Medium type of full body, and I gave that one a 4.25 out of 5 stars as well. That was everything that I had for the day. Pretty big day. Would have liked to done video reviews for all of that, but just doesn't really work out as well. I don't usually like to use my phone too much for video recording. Sound just isn't always clear, of course, like this, and takes forever to upload. So, but I'll probably be doing a couple more of these, do a short recap. When I was at my friend's house yesterday, we opened some bottles, and then I wanted to do one for Texas Mead Fest that happened a few weeks back, if I get around to that too. Just because it's not very well known, and I like to kind of give it some coverage so that, Texas has some decent meads too. So, anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I guess, I usually say think global, drink local, cheers. But I mean, it's kind of informal, just so if anyone was interested in this type of thing. But anyway, so keep on watching and do some more recaps and getting some more video reviews again here pretty soon. So cheers.